Hello students, today we will study chapter 9 reproduction in animals. As the name of the chapter is reproduction in animals, so first of all we should know what is reproduction. Reproduction is a process of producing new young ones of their own kind by the living organisms. It's called reproduction. And why it is necessary? Why reproduction is necessary? So reproduction is necessary, that is because whatever living organisms are there, they have a particular lifespan that is called the duration from birth to death, means when they take birth and after that when they die, whatever duration between that is called the lifespan of that organism. So every living organisms have their definite lifespan, as some of the microorganisms their lifespan is for some minute, some have some hours, some have some years, some month. Human beings, as you know, that may have average lifespan is approx 60-70 years, but some may go approx 100 also. But after that they have to die, and after the death they need to, for the continuation of life on the earth, they need to produce new young ones of their own kind by every living organisms. So that's why nature has given capability to produce new young ones of their own kind by living organisms of their own kind, so that their species can continue on the earth generation after generation, and life may continue on the earth generation after generation. So to continue life on the earth generation after generation, there is necessary, means reproduction is necessary. Whatever reproduction is there, that is of two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, as from the name it is clear that there is no need of sex cells. Whatever sex cells, means male and female cells are there, they are not involved in that, means fusion of male and female cell is not required. Asexual reproduction can take place by a single parent, by the single parent body. So whatever reproduction take place without involvement of a male and female cell, that is called asexual reproduction. That may be binary fission, as it take place in smaller organisms, binary fission, budding, fragmentation, आपका in plants, spore formation also, vegetative propagation in plants also. So that you have already studied about that type of reproduction, asexual reproduction. But in animals, budding, binary fission, fragmentation and regeneration. So these are the various types of asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, only one type of reproduction is there, in which there is involvement of male and female cell. So mostly here we study about sexual reproduction in human beings. In sexual reproduction, whatever living organisms are there in which sexual reproduction take place, most of them are unisexual, means they have only one type of sex organs in one body, like male have male reproductive organs, female have female reproductive organs. But some of the organisms have both the male and female reproductive organs in the same body. They are called hermaphrodite. hermaphrodite. They are the organisms which have both male and female sex organs in the same body. They are called hermaphrodites. For example, earthworm, leeches. So these are the examples of hermaphrodite organisms which have both male and female reproductive organs in the same body. So as I told you, here we will study about the reproduction in human beings. In human beings, reproduction take place. In human beings, whatever new young ones are produced, they take birth. Means human beings do not lay eggs. And this also, there are two type of animals. Some are oviparous and some are viviparous. What are oviparous animals? The animals which lay eggs are called oviparous. For example, birds, insects, reptiles. So these are the animals which lay eggs, and after hatching from the egg, new young ones comes out. They are called oviparous. And whatever animals give birth to their young ones, means they do not lay eggs, they are called viviparous. Example, human beings, cow, dog, buffalo, etc. These all are viviparous. So in human beings, the new young one take birth. Before that, we should know about the reproductive organs in human beings. As this is male reproductive organs, and this is female reproductive organs. In male reproductive organs, if you will see, so this is the sperm duct, or vas deferens. Vas deferens or sperm duct. This is testis. This is penis, and this is seminal vesicle, a gland that is seminal vesicle. So if we talk about the role of the sex organs in males, so testis is the main organ which produce sperms in it. Sperms are the male cell, male gametes. Sperms are the male gamete which is produced into the testis, and from the testis it is carried through the vas deferens or sperm duct, and here seminal vesicle is there that form white fluid, and with white fluid mixing it, that is called means sperm plus white fluid, it is called semen. Okay, so that sperm's white fluid is a little slippery, so that provide nutrition to the sperm also. So that come out through the urethra, whatever in the penis, whatever tube like structure is there, that is called urethra. The passes through the penis, through that sperm also and urine also comes out. Urine also, this is urinary bladder. From the urinary bladder, this is urinary bladder. From the urinary bladder, urine also comes out, and during sexual reproduction, means when there is to release the sperm from the testis to the vas deferens, sperm duct, sperms comes out, and here with mixing white fluid produced by seminal vesicle, that comes out through the urethra, and that is comes out through the urethra. So male gametes are formed into the testis of male, and in female gametes this is ovary. Ovary produce ovum. This is female gamete. Ovum is female gamete and sperm is male gamete. And this is oviduct and uterus, vagina. So these are the reproductive parts of the various parts of the of a female. Ovary release ovum. Each ovary release ovum, and means one ovum in 1 month this ovary releasing, the other month this ovary releasing, but it is not necessary. Sometimes both ovary release ovum in the same month. So but in general, alternatively one ovary release one ovum in each month. So then after releasing ovum, when the ovum comes through the release from the ovary, and that come through the oviduct, and when it reach into the oviduct, in oviduct only there is fusion of male and female gamete. Means whatever sperms are there, they have tail and they crawled up to the oviduct. The sperms, if you see the structure of sperm, so sperm have something structure like this. It have tail. So that tail help in, this is head, middle piece, and tail. So because of presence of tail, they crawl, by beating of tail they crawl up to the oviduct, and when this is when the sperms are released in the near the uterus, so then it is crawl to the oviduct, and in the oviduct only they surround the ovum. This is, suppose this is ovum, so many sperms surround to the ovum, and but only one sperm enters into the ovum and fuse with the nucleus of sperm, fuse with the nucleus of the ovum. So only one sperm fuse with the nucleus of ovum, and after the fusion the whatever resulting cell is formed, that is called zygote. Zygote is formed after fusion of sperm and ovum. Whatever means, this is the ovum, and after fusion of nucleus of male gamete, that this ovum is called zygote, and the zygote have single nucleus, and this is the first cell of the living organism. Means whatever new organism will be produced, so this is the first cell of that organism. From this one single cell, the whole body of that organism will be formed. So fertilization, the site of fertilization in human beings is oviduct. Means fertilization take place here, and after fertilization whatever zygote is formed, so that start divide here only, and from one cell to two cell, two to four cell, that start to divide, and when it form have many cells, then it move towards the means during that it travels towards the uterus, and before reaching to the uterus it have many cells, and then it is implanted into the uterus at some place. Actually before fertilization in every month in females, preparation take place in the uterus. Lining is formed, lining of tissues is formed, and for the receiving embryo, so this lining of tissues are formed in every month. That is the preparation for receiving embryo. So after fertilization the embryo comes here, and it is implanted at the wall of the uterus, and embryonic development started. But if fertilization do not take place, then in every month this whatever lining is deposited at the inner wall of the uterus, so that becomes useless and that is start to shedding. And since that have blood capillaries also, so that have blood means bleeding start in females in every month after every 28 days, and that process is called menstruation. So if fertilization take place, then menstruation stops. That is because whatever lining was there in the uterus, preparation was there, that is utilized by the embryo. So embryo start to develop here, and at whatever place that is attached, that is called placenta. That is called placenta. From the place where in the at the uterus wall the embryo is attached, that is called placenta. And when embryo develops, so during development, after when embryo is developed, then by whatever tube that get food from the placenta, that tube is called umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. From the through the umbilical cord that is attached with the abdomen of the embryo, and through the umbilical cord the embryo get nutrients, oxygen, food material, whatever are required by the for the growth of the embryo. So that all thing is taken through the umbilical cord from the placenta, wherever it is attached from the mother's body, and embryonic development take place after some week. The in beginning that is only cell, and after that cell division take place, and after that specialization of cells take place, and various type of tissues are formed, and after formation of tissues organs are formed. So the time comes when all the body parts can be identified in the embryo. So at that time that embryo is called fetus. At that time that is called fetus. After completing the gestation period in human beings is approx 9 months. After that the new young one take birth when gestation period is completed. So this is how reproduction take place in human beings, that is sexual reproduction. The site of fertilization, as I told you, that is oviduct. Many students give wrong answer that fertilization take place in the uterus. That is wrong. Fertilization take place in the oviduct, that is also called fallopian tube. That is also called oviduct, is also called fallopian tube or fallopian tube. So oviduct is also called fallopian tube. So site of fertilization is oviduct. Embryonic development take place into the uterus, and after completing embryonic development, the new young one comes take birth. After completing the gestation period, the site of formation of female gamete is ovary. The site of formation of male gamete is testis. So that is present into the scrotum. This is called scrotum, flexible, skinny pouch. In that a pair of testes are there. In that male gametes, that is sperm is formed. So this is how reproduction take place in the human beings. Whatever zygote is formed, that is that have single cell, means although two nuclei in diagram, two nuclei is visible, but that two nuclei is fusing. After fusion, single nucleus will be formed, and the process of fusion of male and female gamete, that is called fertilization. That process is called fertilization. Of fertilization is of two types. Fertilization is of two types. external fertilization and internal fertilization. External fertilization take place outside the female body and internal fertilization take place inside the female body. So in external fertilization, the example is fish, frog, etc. So after laying eggs, the male spread sperms on the eggs, and fertilization take place outside the female body, and internal fertilization, the fertilization take place inside the female body. So in this video only this much, remaining we will discuss in next video.